Now, this is just a few short days before the show, and there has got to be the most incredible transformation in these halls before Crufts is due to open its doors to the public on Thursday. Now, if you're one of the 100,000 or so people who are going to come here to the show, or if you're going to stay at home and watch it on the television, remember, we've got all the news from Crufts 98.
Of course, the climax of the event is the competition for Best in Show. Amazingly, over 20,000 dogs will have been competing over the 4 days for that most elusive of titles. But by Sunday night, one dog will have seen off all the rest of the opposition.
He's going, he is, the Yorkies, the Yorkies won it.
Champion Osmillion Mystification, Osman Samaja's Justin, wins Best in Show for 1997. The irrepressible little Justin, now comfortably retired from the show ring, on his way to the lifetime of recognition and reward that only a Crufts champion can know. But what about those who come so agonisingly close? Last year, Mike Gadsby and his American Cocker Spaniel Dexter took reserve Best in Show, but they're definitely a winning combination you could never call second best.
Well, Mike, they say no one remembers a runner-up. But, I mean, as a runner-up, you've had a great year this year, haven't you?
Well, yeah, it was... well, obviously, it started off brilliantly at Crufts with such a young dog, going reserve Best in Show, and then he just, you know, like won and won and won. So he finished up top dog all breeds.
But then he got injured, didn't he?
Yeah, actually, it was on the beach. And he just came down on the beach one day, was playing, and he trapped a nerve in his back. So it put him out of the ring for the last 3 months of the year, which again was pretty amazing that we managed to hold that lead for top dog.
Yes.
That's great.
Dexter and Mike will try to go one better at Crufts this year, but already there's another little wannabe in waiting, though she might not want to at the moment.
It's important just to stop before they're really getting fed up a bit.
Yeah.
Mike's precise yet relaxed training methods have consistently turned out dogs that revel in the big show atmosphere. Dexter is every inch the flamboyant showman. Could it be that he gets that from his handler? His immaculate appearance in the ring belies his life of rough and tumble on the pleasure-filled beaches of Blackpool.
It's like you can have a dog with an absolutely marvellous coat, wonderful coat, but he's not going to win in the show ring unless he's got the character and the charisma. And I find that the best way to bring out that sort of natural showmanship is if they're really happy, and I couldn't imagine a dog being happy living in a box all the time.
No. So you've got a muffy dog, Mike. How long before it's in show condition?
Well, bathing takes about half an hour, I'd say, and then the blow drain about an hour and a half, 2 hours for blow drying. If the dog needs grooming, he's bathed.
Yeah.
Dry grooming doesn't do your coat any good, really. It's like now, we've just come from the beach, and I've done nothing to him, just put him straight in the bath. Come here, good lad. Turn around.
I always understood that if you're bathing dogs on a regular basis, you're destroying a lot of their natural oils in their skin. Is that not true?
No, I mean, you've just got to make sure that you're using very good shampoos and conditioners. You can't get away. I mean, it'd be wonderful if there was something really cheap. but there isn't. So long as you're using really good shampoos and conditioners, then the coat's fine.
The grooming technique evidently works. The flowing beauty of Mike's Afghan hound Riot is every professional handler's dream. Riot won the Best of Breed title in 1997 and was shortlisted for the group. Now, Mike would say that even a 5-year-old could show Riot, but surely the handler, though reluctant, must take some of the credit.
Like, casting all modesty aside, why are you the best handler in the world, Mike Gadsby?
I think that to be a good handler, you have to really love the dogs that you're showing. And I think that if you've got a bond with your dog, that involves like a love affair with the dog, as it were. And if if you have that bond, which I think I've had with some of the dogs that I've shown, then you can take a dog from looking good to looking great. I mean, it's no use going into a ring and just showing a dog. You've got to be aware of what they're going to do, what's their next move going to be, and work around it. And of course, you're trying to highlight the dog in a very positive way at all times, so you want him looking at his best the whole time he's in the ring.
Terrific response to his movement and appearance in the ring. Does that improve your performance? Does that give you a lift?
Well, I think it's the reason why we show dogs, to be honest with you. That is like an amazing rush. It's the adrenaline sort of running through you when you go into an arena with a big ringside like at Crufts, you know, in the groups and in Best in Show. It can't but help your performance, and it's a great thrill when the crowd are behind you, as they were with Riot and with him. I think, to be honest, at that stage, there are no losers. You know, you go in feeling that it's impossible to lose because you're 6 of the best dogs in the world competing for Best in Show at Crufts.
It's quite interesting that the personality does show through in everything he does, doesn't it? He's very cocky.
Oh yeah, it's like it's his world and we're all just guests in it, really.
And good luck to everybody who's qualified for Crufts this year. Now, the show's going to be bigger than ever because they've added a whole extra hall, and there are going to be 164 different breeds of dog competing. Now, those dogs are divided into 6 different groups, and of course it's those 6 group winners that battle it out on the Sunday night for Best in Show.
The group judging begins on day 1. This is how they run.
Of course, before you get anywhere near the group competition, you'll need to win Best of Breed. Now, that can mean having to beat as many as 500 other dogs in your own breed, a remarkable feat in itself. But if you think the dog has a hard time, we'll spare a thought for the poor judge. It won't be a little line-up like this at Crufts. The judge could be on their feet for hours. Peggy Grayson here has judged everywhere, from village halls to the country's biggest venues.
Thank you, madam.
She's one of the most popular and respected judges around. Now, Peggy, this is the dog that you've chosen as the best of the 4. They were all lovely dogs. So how did you end up with this for your best of breed?
He fits the breed standard extremely well. You've got to think of the standard all the time. But you must know that within that standard there are differing types, and you have to accommodate that. But this dog, to me, had more of what was wanted than the others, although I had some beautiful dogs in the ring. This, to my mind, he did stand out, and he's got charisma, and he's got attitude, and he came to me with his little tail wagging, and he looked up at me, and that is cocker. He's got to give you cocker character.
So at the end of the day, it isn't just the blueprint, it's also your personal opinion.
Yes, well, yes, every judge has their, I mean to say, some judges like one thing and some judges like another, and some appear to like nothing at all. But yes, it is a personal opinion in the end. In your mind, what is the most important things that you want in the dogs that you're judging? If you're really judging properly, it's tremendous concentration, and you must always remember to keep your eyes on the dogs. It doesn't do to let the eyes stray up the other end of the lead. That's not the way to judge dogs.
Now, what do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of very well-known people in dogs, and perhaps when people start judging, you know, they get a bit overawed and think, oh, if that's Mrs. So-and-so, she always has a good dog, so it must be good. It isn't always so. You must just go in and look at the dogs. And another thing is you must judge them on the day, because every dog has off days, however marvellous and beautiful it is, and however much it's won. There is a day when it's not showing so well. It's perhaps a little light in body, it's not quite so good in coat, and they must not be put up just because they are big winners. They must actually be judged against their fellows on the day.
Now, you've been judging, Peggy, for decades. I'm sure you won't mind me saying so.
Yes.
In all those years of judging, what would you say was your happiest, your most thrilling moment?
Oh, I don't know. I've had a lot of very thrilling moments when I've been judging dogs. Of course, to be asked to judge the gun dog group at Crufts was a great honour. But I suppose if I think back, perhaps the very first show I ever judged, which was in wartime, and I was quite young to receive an invitation then, because in those days you got invited because somebody'd seen you showing your dogs and decided that you might perhaps be a useful judge, and you got accepted in those days because of that. And I did my first show in the wilds of Wales. And very quickly afterwards, I got another engagement. And I sort of heard from people, they said, for a youngster, she didn't do a bad job. And that was very thrilling to think that I hadn't sort of mucked the whole thing up. That was exciting.
If you had to give one piece of advice to a new judge, what would that be?
If you're going to judge, you really do need to handle a tremendous amount of dogs. It's all very well reading books and things like that, but you actually do need to handle a lot of dogs and really get your hands on them, you know, and find out what makes them tick. I do think the old-fashioned thing of saying an eye for a dog or an eye for an animal does come into it. It is a feeling. You know when something is correct. And it has got to come from the heart, really, not anything you've learnt from a book.
Well, I'm looking forward to Peggy Grayson joining us in the commentary box for the group judging next week. Mind you, Cruft isn't only about pedigree show dogs. All sorts of dogs get involved in events which are guaranteed to keep you right on the edge of your seat.
If it's fast and furious you're after, check out the agility competition. You can watch them race against the clock every day at the NEC. The big final is on the Sunday, and last year it was a thriller.
Over. Back. Steady. Down. Stay down. Stay down. Down, stay. Down, stay.
This is now very tight. Slower through the weave, no question about it. Losing time all the time. Are they going to be quick enough?
Come, come. Come, come.
Terrific control, nicely into the tunnel, that's good. No mistakes now, they might just make it. Oh, this is terrific stuff. It's very close indeed, but that is a clear round.
Also on Sunday, the flyball final. Not for the faint-hearted.
Daventry have now opened out the lead, very fast turnover. And the lead increases again. This has exactly the same pattern we had in the first leg. Are we going to need 3 legs, I wonder? Daventry's lead increasing again, and it's a clean finish. That's terrific. Daventry are going to take the title.
But if you want to see real mayhem, look out. The tricky tykes are coming. It's been several years since terrier racing was last featured at Crufts, but this year it's racing with a difference, with what is hoped to be one of the most amusing performances ever seen in the main arena.
Jump.
Using this extraordinary contraption and a lot of heavy-duty string, John Goddard Fenwick excites and confuses his pack of dogs. I asked him what it was all about.
What can I tell you? It's a bicycle frame. We took it and we... Nipper! Took it and turned it upside down and put the handlebars, the saddle where the handlebars ought to be, and attached a bit of cord to it. Whoops! That was my partner Lynn's idea. We were travelling around the countryside a lot with horse displays, and we were at an agricultural show and saw some terrier racing, and we're laughing our heads off at the antics of the terriers. And Lynn said we should get some terriers and do this as a form of entertainment. These are all Tartan Terriers, and we've got the Brat Pack. And we're trying to come up at the moment with a team of Spice Girls for Crufts, which seems to be fairly topical.
Hairy and scary Spice, I guess. I just hope they aren't in the team.
It's absolute fun. I mean, if they come to us quite serious, we can guarantee within that year they're not serious anymore. They're cheerful, happy little dogs.
Quite a few of the dogs come from rescue homes, like little Pickles here, hoping to make the grade as a tricky tyke.
She only came to us just before Christmas, and we're hoping she's going to do it because I'm sure that people will absolutely love her. She's by far the tiniest of the dogs we've got with us, but she's looking promising, and we'd like to run her.
Oh, please yourself then.
Off in their own customised bus, all 40 of them, next stop Crufts. You can see the Tricky Tykes Terrier Racing display team in the main ring on Friday.
Good boy. Now, obviously, if you're taking part in those sorts of action events, it's imperative that your dog's as fit as possible, like these two, really. But what happens if your dog gets injured, or maybe it's just a bit old and arthritic? Well, just like for people, the best therapy is swimming. Not in here, though. Pip, an 11-year-old golden retriever, arrives at Therapause in Siddlesham, near Chichester in West Sussex. He comes every week, and first stop is a nice, gentle warm-up shower. Alan Stacey, his owner, keeping a protective and watchful eye over him. Then it's into the specially designed pool with its turbo filters and secret formula water for his therapeutic dip, guided by Therapause founder Julie Grantham.
Yes, good boy. Good boy. Come on.
After his 20-minute swim, Pip goes to the salon. They don't have any bad hair days here at Therapause. And the massage under the heat from the dryer probably helps with his aches and pains too. What was he like when you first brought him here?
Well, he had no life at all.
Really?
He could only walk about 5 yards and crash down in the road.
So there's been a massive improvement.
Yeah.
The most important thing, does he enjoy his swimming?
He does now, but he hated water when I first brought him in.
You wouldn't know it, would you?
He's got a life back again.
But this isn't just a therapy pool. Swimmers come here to tone up for flyball competition, for Crufts, or just to have fun. Once the tidal waves have receded, it's Spencer's turn, and they don't come much bigger than Spencer.
He doesn't like getting his nose wet. Come on, all the way down. Here we go. Good boy. And swimming.
Yeah.
Oh.
What happened to him?
He's got arthritis in the joint, and the cruciate ligament has also gone as well. So the swimming is to help build up the muscle again.
And has it worked?
It's done extremely well on it. He really has. Round, round, round. That's a good boy. Good boy. Now he's doing a sponsored swim today for West Sussex Association for the Blind, and he's raised £151.
Oh, that's wonderful.
There's
Thank you very
Spencer's
much.
contribution.
That's brilliant. Look at that. And did he do well?
Yes.
Very well.
Yeah, he's a
Well,
good
we've got
boy.
a little certificate here to say
Oh.
thank you very much indeed.
Why is the water so beneficial for dogs?
Water is non-weight bearing, therefore they can swim and the water takes all the weight. They're actually working muscles and limbs that they cannot do elsewhere.
And what sort of dogs do you actually get coming to visit?
I'd say 80% for therapy. Arthritis, rheumatic, ligaments, post-op, all sorts of problems that we have here. The other 20%, of course, are fun swims. Dogs just come for a glorified splash about.
And it isn't only the dogs that go in the pool, is it?
Oh no, we have people, several owners actually swim with their dogs and they reckon they benefit from it as well.
Well, I had brought the whole family with me, Gavin, Tierney and the dogs, so we could hardly let the side down now, could we?
Come on, Lou. Come on. Come on. Where's a good girl? Come on, I'll come with you. Oh, it's cold. It's cold. Ooh. No, if I'm going in, you have to come with me. Come on. Yay! Come on.
I can feel it doing me good already.
The best in the country will turn out for this year's Obedience Championships. On Thursday it's the dogs, Friday the bitches. Obedience is a difficult discipline. At Crufts it's a full day's work, with points to lose at every turn. So to keep her dog, Obedience champion Take a Walk Zach, motivated, Dot Watts relies a lot on play. Perhaps that's the secret of her 3 championship wins.
I think to win Crufts, you have to be lucky. Everything has to come right on the day. And if you don't have that piece of luck, well, you're not going to win. Obviously, you need to be able to cope with working a dog under pressure, because there is a lot of pressure at Crufts. Also, you can't really say to the dog, it's Crufts today, I want you to work extra special. Maybe the dog's not really feeling like it. If you're just doing it for yourself, then you can put pressure on yourself. But if you've got a live animal on the end of the lead, then obviously you've got to keep it fun for the dog.
These dogs, I would always think of as being a one-person dog. Would he work for me?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Yes.
I'll try him.
Yes.
All right.
I'll give you a piece of sausage just to make sure he comes with you.
All right.
You tell him what you're doing, you say to him, we're doing heel work, and you say to him, when you start off, Zachy watch, and although you won't
Zachy watch?
handle the same, he should stick to your leg.
Okay.
Just off you go then.
Good boy, Zach. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yes, that's lovely. And about.
You need to walk faster.
Such a task.
Even faster. Go on, get going.
Shall I turn left? He's a good boy. Yes, no, get down. We lost points for that. Behave yourself.
Down to watch.
Good boy, watch. It's a good boy. Yeah.
He doesn't read your footwork.
I don't read my footwork. Was I rubbish?
He needs a bit of training,
Was
doesn't he,
I
Zach?
rubbish?
He needs some training. Go tell him.
When you're going in for the big competitions, what do you feel like?
Sick. That's it in a nutshell, I think, really. You get in there, you see the arena, or the ring, with all the green carpet down there, and it's all set out ready for the test, and you think, I haven't trained that. Oh dear, I wish I'd have done this. And nerves set in, and you take to the alcohol.
What do you do to calm the dog's nerves?
Well, I have to be careful with Zach. If I'm nervous, it goes through to him, and he won't perform as well. With Remy, well, this is his first time at Crufts. Anything can happen. I don't know how he's going to react to it. But this time, having 2 dogs as well, it's more pressure for me, I think. I can feel sick twice this time. Twice as much alcohol. Good girlie. It's a good girl.
With 1 new puppy to train, all of Dot's dogs have competed in obedience with varying degrees of success.
Come on in, Zimmy.
How do you tell with an obedience dog that you're going to get a good one?
Well, I always pick my puppies when they're about 3 days old, and I pick them on looks. If I like a puppy to look at, then I'll love it and I can bond with it. I just make the most of what I've got. And if they don't make the grade, they still stay here as pets. But if you put time in with the bonding side of things, and put enough time in with the play and the reward, then you're halfway there anyway.
Have you ever felt like giving up? I mean, have you ever
Frequently. Yes, I mean, when Zach was younger, when he was about 2 years old, he was badly frightened at a show. And I did think I would have to retire him because he developed a really bad noise phobia. Took me a long time to get over it. I persevered. And so, for me, it's even more memorable that he's won Crufts twice.
Zach is notorious for failing at the scent discrimination test, and last year the whole championship depended on this performance.
Send your dog. So what do you think of whilst you're sending Zach out to get the cloth?
I'm thinking about trying not to faint before he brings it back. And then when he does bring it back, you've got to keep yourself together so that you can hopefully get a good present and finish. And then, if you do, and it looks like you're perhaps going to win, then you can have a good cry.
And finish. Exercise finished.
I know on the way home, I sort of thought I needed to pinch myself because I thought, this must be the night before and I must be dreaming that Zach's won Crufts again because he couldn't possibly have done it. So it does take a lot of sinking in, old Zimmy.
Why have you called her Zimmer?
Well, because I'm thinking she's probably going to be the last one I've trained, or rather I'm going to train, so I've called her Zimmer, short for Zimmer frame.
Last in a long line. Well, we'll wait and see about that. Dot, any further ambitions? Would it worry you, for example, if you didn't win another obedience competition?
I don't suppose so. Not really. I've been very fortunate to win Crufts 3 times. I've enjoyed my training. I suppose probably my greatest ambition now, if you could say it's an ambition, is really to win the lottery.
Well, if I won the lottery, I think I'd probably buy some more of these. This is Karazhan Superman, Kent to his friends. He's a Newfoundland, and he's my pride and joy. Now, it may be that you think that a dog like this could be just the kind that you would like, but how can you be sure? Well, at Crufts, every day in Hall 3, you can visit Discover Dogs, where you can have hands-on experience of up to 160 different dogs, different breeds, recognised by the Kennel Club. You can talk to owners, handlers, breeders, in fact, anyone who's involved, and determine for yourself whether the dog of your dreams is exactly that, or perhaps the dog of your nightmares.
And remember, of course, that Discover Dogs was designed specifically for you, so that you can meet the dogs and get really close to them. The show benches, though, well, that's quite a different matter. And if you've got a small and you want to keep them safe, then for goodness sake, do keep them under control. The golden rule, let sleeping dogs and the odd sleeping owner lie. Crufts has something for absolutely everybody, and you're guaranteed to see things that you'll never see anywhere else. Mary Ray and Kizzy make that heel work to music seem effortless, but it really isn't as easy as it looks.
Walk forward, 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 forward. Heel, heel. Heel. Very close.
If you want to see that done properly, you'll just have to come to the NEC.
And don't forget the Crufts runs between the 5th and the 8th of March inclusive, but we've got a programme going out next Saturday, if I'm still in the same place.
Join us then. Don't miss it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.